everyone. This is Ganesh again. Welcome to the Data Insights podcast. Today we have another special guest. It's Gopinath, our ConverSight CTO. Gopi, welcome back to the show again. And I know we had a very similar conversation in few episodes before, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. The world is filled with a lot of new AI trends and a lot of things happening. I really was looking forward to this conversation. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ganesh, and hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be part again and provide my view and talk about the latest and greatest what we have in the industry on conversational agentic.
So today we are going to talk about where this decision intelligence is taking us. I think just a little bit background about the industry, the company, a little bit, right? We started this company, ConverSight, 7 years back when everyone was creating reports, developing dashboards. We thought, why not we just have a conversation, just ask the AI to create a report for me, get a dashboard for me. But since then, like after, giving that to 500 plus customers, the thrust is not done. It's still there. Like you want to, the both, I think from the technology team and, you know, leaders like you are bringing new ideas as well as post this chat GPT world. Like even the customers are also asking for lot more. The AI, the Athena, what we have built, is they're asking. So I understand that slowly the industry also we are moving from business intelligence to decision intelligence, because the traditional BI or a business intelligence is all about reports and dashboards, conversite. At that time, that made sense because people had so many reports, so many dashboards. So having an AI asking a question and create a report made sense. Now looks like the AI can do a lot more things. Like AI can assist us, AI can maybe do a lot of the work what we are doing. And I'm keep hearing about the term decision intelligence. And I don't think it really hit the market yet. Like while, obviously, you know industry analysts like Gartner talking about it, and some of us are talking about it, but the decision intelligence, what it is and what's the boundary, it's still like not widely known, I would say. So for to level set our audience, I want to hear from you. In your view, what is decision intelligence and how different that is from the traditional BI, business intelligence?
If you have asked me this question 2, 3 years back, I would have actually gave an different answer completely than today. So to level set, put a baseline, let me start with what I would have answered 2 years back or 3 years back. 3 years back, decision intelligence is nothing but a layer on top of any analytics, which drive the business users to make a decision on the analytics which is being done. And when we talk about analytics, it can be like a simple analytics to and data science analytics. Those insights generates kind of insights on top of it, and then we inference, and then we project this to the user to make the decision, right? This is what decision intelligence is, right? And it helps the user to make a decision, and in some part, it can make a decision on its own. So let's assume that this is what I would have answered like 2 years back, right? Or 3 years back. With the advent of LLMs, right? And where we are actually moving towards agentic and all that, my answer is completely going to be different. And what our platform or decision intelligence itself is, right? There were boundaries before where we had a lot of decision intelligence, but today there is no such boundary. We have data, and it's not only going to provide business users to make an action, but a decision intelligence system is going to make a decision for you, and it is going to bubble up. See, in most of the cases, there are a lot of data and a lot of insights, but not all insights are interesting insights or which is going to make any impact on the business, which whether it is in revenue, whether it is in cost, or whether it's an optimization or productivity, right? But now this will bubble up all this information and then make a decision for you, and is going to propose an action which you can make. The question can be, why not the AI can make this decision, right? But it's always like and human in a loop, where it allows the business users to use their judgment. On top of it, provide all the information. So in such a case, it can go and tell that, hey, you have this inventory and this is the inventory profile you have, and you could able to actually reduce this inventory and view this inventory in the past. So it's going to that level where it is giving the action, it is proposing something, and then it is making the user or the business to run efficiently. So that's what the decision intelligence, not just dashboards, but we are getting into an area where it is actually telling what to do next.
Okay, so I remember in the BI world, we used to call actionable insights. That itself was a somewhat a dream or a myth world, right? Because a lot of the time, the BI projects end up just stuck at data integration, data quality, and huge data warehouse, data lake projects, and not even the data is consumed. Then once you have a good place to consume the data, you have a good dashboards and reports, and you have adoption, and then people will say like, oh, we have this actionable insights. Now what you are telling is it's not just actionable insights, but here are the actions you can perform. The decision intelligence is like basically the AI is going to assist us with all the actions we should perform, we must perform.
Must perform. It will categorize the action from the topmost low hanging, or however you wanted to categorize it, till what you like wanted to, like, hey, push it off now and do it later. It also provides the impact on the action. So that is where the decision intelligence is going. Actionable insights are nothing but showing, hey, this is what I found. You now consume that and then derive the action. But here, the actions are also suggested, right? And they are categorized and they are put it into a priority in which you wanted to act.
So I know we have been writing and reading a lot of reports around the dashboards are dead and all that, right? You don't need to create dashboards. You can just ask a question, all those. But today we should probably say that the business intelligence is dead. Rather, decision intelligence is a new thing, new trend. Means the static, either human created or machine generated reports and dashboards are good to have, nice to have, but that's not going to solve your problem.
Tomorrow's problem.
Not tomorrow's,
It is all the past problem, not the tomorrow's problem.
or rather, it give you a visibility on what happened. That's it.
Exactly.
It's not really going to digest and figure out why it happened, find the root cause analysis, and then suggest that what actions you need to do to prevent that from happening. Be it a product is not selling, a customer is not buying, a churn, potential churn of a customer, or a non-productive inventory or non-moving inventory. So those, instead of looking at a report is good enough to find, oh, I have a $10 million non-productive inventory, but
What
then
to do with it?
why?
Why we have, what we can do about it, and how I can proceed to reduce my inventory or optimize inventory, not even reduce, basically how to optimize the inventory to the next level.
So in the decision intelligence, just from a layman perspective, that we have an AI which is going to tell me by looking at all my data that what are the risks or opportunities and what I need to do every day or every week.
Exactly. So it will identify the risk for the business, and then using the risk, it will also try to find out opportunities across, right? And one another important factor for decision intelligence in today's and tomorrow's world is with AI agentic. I'm using this word AI agentic, which we'll cover later, which is can consume lot more external factors to it. Second, we can dissect and intersect the data, right? And in many different angles. Like if a person is going to sit and actually going to do for 2-3 days, right? We can do that in 5 minutes, and we can run a lot more simulations, right, on how this is going to come out. And the simulation can be run multiple times, and the simulation can be generated dynamically. So that way we can actually come up with a better risk and opportunity profile for the better business outcome.
Okay, so before you move to that AI agents or agentic AI side, I just want to level set for our audience from if I am the supply chain leader, my BI would have given me good supply chain visibility reports, dashboard, all that. In the decision intelligence, decision intelligence in the AI world, I will not just those reports and dashboard, I will probably get those recommendations on what I should order or where I need to keep the inventory, all that kind of stuff, right? But still, I need to act on it. I need to place those purchase order or I need to transfer goods. So now what you are telling is that that's not enough. And I can maybe take a little bit more assistance from AI or automate some task with the AI agent. So is AI agent or this agentic AI, are you thinking this is in addition to decision intelligence or it's part of the decision intelligence? It's an expansion.
AI agent itself can be used in very different ways and very different forms. But to your question, it is and it will be part of the decision intelligence.
Okay.
And that's why when I said like in 2 years before or 3 years before, if
Ah,
you
yeah,
asked me
okay.
the decision intelligent, I would have answered very differently. And for today, it's actually very differently. But what it is actually doing is it is actually taking the decision intelligent, which was we are all talking about like 2 3 years back, and it's like going through the moon now, right? Going to the moon, and we can actually propel a lot, and lot of decisions human should have made or can only human can make. Now the decision intelligent platform can actually make those decisions. When they make those decisions, they will suggest those decisions, and they will also tell you can act here, right? They don't have to go somewhere else to act it. In a way, I have to touch upon the first video we made, right? And it is 100% relevant here today. That is exactly a decision intelligence platform in a steroid, right? For future. If you take that, that is very much possible today. So we dreamt of it like 7 years back, and we are in a state that is a decision intelligence platform, right? More conversational. It has its own understanding of what it has to be done.
Just
Um,
in what should do, what I should do.
Exactly. And the part is that now the decision engine platform can also understand your business. It can get personalized for your business. And the decision itself is not like if you take the any forecasting planner and all that in the past, it's basically like one app you have to go and configure and do a lot of that. Now it understands your business a lot more. It understands the macroeconomy, right? Microeconomics, right? And all that together, it can actually go into provide such. So even the decision it is suggesting is not in siloed, right? That you have to like put one more mask on top of it to understand. In fact, all this can be thought through, and the decision engine platform can suggest the outcomes for you.
So now that we covered a little bit of BI versus DI as the decision intelligence, and then the decision intelligence a year or two back versus today and tomorrow is with a lot more agents. I just want to connect the dots with the kind of the use cases, the customer use cases we have seen, right? I think I remember our first customer where they had their data in an ERP system, and then they were doing a lot of reporting, like the Microsoft BI or Excel or that. So all we were giving was you just ask a question like revenue by month and who are my top 10 customers. That to me the AI was creating a report or generating a report. From there, I think that recent one for the food distributor or a retailer was what I think the company had like $140 million inventory and $140 million non-performing,
Non-performing.
right? The dead inventory. Like they were curious, like what caused that? Like what was the root cause for that? Was it wrong forecast or air safety stock, or is it really the demand died down? And we were employing the Athena, the AI, to really ask the root cause, right? So I know you always talk about explicit versus implicit. I want to hear from you in these two use cases. Do you think the first what we did was more explicit and this is more implicit? How do you put that?
Yeah. Um, the evolution of I'll just have to talk about the evolution of natural language understanding. So that has a real play here in this question to be answered. So the natural language understanding itself was a grammar based understanding the semantic and synthetic of the questions asked, right? Human language itself and human itself basically have an implicit intent when something is asked, but the technology and also the past times were all towards understanding that one particular statement synthetically, right? And those are like explicit questions. Hey, what is my revenue for last 3 years, right? You cannot ask where, let's say you ask a question, right? Hey, what is my revenue for last like 5 years? And the next question is that, hey, I see that there is an third year drop. Where that drop come from? You will not be able to ask this question, right? Because the AI itself is not to that level. It can only understand the synthetic. So basically, it's a very explicit. You have to come back and say that give me the third year revenue by month, and then you go back and see yourself to understand why it is actually dropped. You can inference it. Right. So you explicitly ask a question. Still, it is good because people have to write SQLs, people have to go and ask reports from somebody else, which is still good, where you ask a question, it gives a result, you infer from it, and then you ask a question. Call that as an exploratory, but still natural language exploratory way of asking questions, right? Still, it solved a lot of problems for us. So we have our happy customers there. Instead of it's actually taking 2 weeks for somebody to go and ask for information, get that information and see. Instead, they ask questions in like matter of minutes, they'll get all the information. The only part is they have to make the decision, right? They have to infer and they have to ask questions. But the implicit way of asking question is that we should be able to ask question, hey, where I am, like why or in which year my sales was dropping and why it is dropping.
Yeah.
Now it is completely explicit. You are not giving any direction on what's happened. The AI, Athena, has to understand what this question is, then plan for it, and then it might need to actually do an analysis on whether it's product, whether it is customer, right? Whether it's any other thing. So basically now it becomes completely explicit because your intent is to only know why it happened, right? And don't even know, sometimes the question can be where it happened. So that is where explicit comes into play. And also it understands the intent, because let's assume that you have asked 3 questions before something else, and now you are asking this question. It actually understands your intent from where you are coming from. And now explicitly it can actually answer this. One incident which I still remember, when I think we were both were showing a demo to one of the big manufacturing company, right? And we showed them one question where they asked it, hey, what is the spend for last 5 years? It showed the spend and there was a drop. And one of the person in the demo, I think she asked, where was that drop? Where it was spent, right? And we couldn't able to do that there. But now we can answer that question saying that where it happened, right? So that is where we are today when we talk about implicit versus explicit, and how the AI Athena agent can understand the previous questions to answer your current question.
Now the Athena new release, we are releasing that Athena thread. So what is Athena thread? Is it more implicit? Is that what Athena thread is, or more than that?
Athena thread is more than that. It is capable of having a proper conversation with you to answer the question. It clarifies the answer with you. You can come and ask that, hey, give me my shipment which have not happened, like three, like nothing without giving anything. And Athena can come back and ask you that, hey, from which date you want, right? From which warehouse might you want, right? And if you ask away, if it is ambiguous, it comes back and clarifies with you. It doesn't assume
Customer, what is low profitable mean?
low profitable customer means. So in the past, we try to answer that. The users might have a different intention of asking question. Instead of the assuming, it comes back, clarifies with you, provides you more information on, and then ask a question. Second, it's completely explicit. You can ask any questions and it will actually answer you. Third, it's completely conversational. And it follows your conversation. So you can ask something in the first, and then you can come back and ask, and it actually maintains the
Define it.
in then it answers that. And at last, it is not just answering your questions. You can ask questions around questions, right? Most of the time, we know that our users comes in, they don't know what to ask, what data it is, but now it is much more interactive. It's you can ask them, hey, what questions I can ask, what this data is about, all that, and it interactively can answer all those questions. It's completely explicit, conversational, completely open-ended questions can be answered.
So that is more Athena thread, right? I know we are. So to do this, I'm sure behind the scene technology side, the team has done a lot of work, and we are keep referring unified decision intelligence platform. We spoke about decision intelligence. What does unified decision intelligence platform mean? What is different from a BI world?
Yeah. So almost all the technology follow a trend, right? Any new technologies are built siloed, and there will be pointed solution in each one of the stages of evolving business needs, right? In that sense, when you say, I want to do analytics, there are SaaS platforms, there are enterprise platforms where to ingest data, right? And then clean up data, do analytics, and then you have a visualization on top of it, right? And then you have this agentic on top of it to actually provide, right? Top to data. Now, this is the evolution we'll all see, but what business user need to run the business, it is not all these technologies. What they need is what we are talking about, and decision to be made, and they need that decision to be in front of them, right? Suggestion to it, actions to be performed, and all that. That's it. They don't worry about where data comes from and all that. And to put together something like this, though the business needs this, but to achieve this for any enterprise IT, it's actually going, they have to like bring in like 10 different technologies, run it on top of any scalable infrastructure for users, right? Put it all together, right from data ingestion to the agentic AI, all combined in one, which itself will take like 4 or 5 months, sometimes 6 months even. I would not I be saying that in a year to bring it, right?
Yeah.
And ConverSight is a unified digital intelligence platform. That means when you have ConverSight deployed, it basically from data ingestion to the AI agent all in one place, where value from deployment to a value just matter of like month or two. In fact, our customer, some of our enterprise customers actually got an value in 3 or 4 months, where if they have done it by themselves, it actually took more than like a year or two for them to achieve that. That's where the unified is.
So now that means that when we move, a company is invested on a data lake and BI solution and all that for years, right? Millions of dollars they spend. If they need to move to this decision intelligence, do they need to really give up all that, throw away and trash it and start fresh?
No, in fact, the best advantage of moving to ConverSight is a pluggable architecture. We can bring in any data lake into the platform, so we don't need to build the data lake. We don't have to build the. So if you see this as a phases, right? Anything can be plugged in any of the phases to consume ConverSight, right? And if customer feels that they wanted to use the platform for other things in the later, they can, but still they
So
can plug
connect
it
to
to
their
any
data lake, consume their data.
the data lake and run everything on top of it. So that's how the entire platform is built in layers, and Condensate can be used from any layer we think we want.
But you think that will be the future? Like they will continue to have some BI and then have another DI solution, or potentially it'll start that way and then it'll synerge into one
The
DI.
trend I am seeing today is all getting, I would say, getting merged, right? And in fact, the competitors of us are also trying to merge things together. Though they start from some people, some customers are sorry, some competitors start from an data ingestion, then they slowly add other things on top. Some starts from the visualization, and they add other. And sometimes people build, sometimes people acquire, right? And we felt as a ConverSight should not be doing all this for our customers. For us, it's like the outcome is important, and the outcome should be like as quick as possible for them to deliver to our customers. So that's the reason we have actually built this.
Instead of having 5 to 10 technologies to do the sudden steps from data sourcing, data integration, data modeling, data analytics, and data mart, and then data analysis or the chat visualization insights. So instead of that, having one platform makes sense. Or if they already have a data lake and just
Plug it,
plug into
plug
that.
it into the platform.
In fact, this week I just read about the Informatica acquisition, right? Salesforce acquired Informatica. It shows that in a couple of years back, what I think Salesforce acquired the Tableau and narrative science, and then now the Informatica. So it's clear that
Everybody want to be like unified
yeah,
today.
the customers are looking for all these. They don't want separate technology for different steps. They want unified. And I
It's
don't know how these different buying different technologies is going to get unified, but then we started that unified architecture.
very long back, right? We saw the potential, we saw where the industry is going, and we actually started doing the platform even before the term unified was coined by Gartner, right? And it is not cost, right? Business is a very fast trending economy now, right?
Time to value.
Time to value is more important, and the business wants solution now, not like after 6 months or 7 months, because their competitor would have already moved there, right? And ConverSight actually pitch in and support them to make the business value now, not in the future.
Right. I think, yeah, there are, our hundreds of customers. What we have is kind of an example of how quickly we were able to deploy and value and all that. Like now, coming to the future, right, from here on, I know, that I'm keep hearing about Athena, the analyst, the Athena, the supply chain assistant, and all those. So that's more into that AI agentic AI assistant type. So what's next? I know thread is already there, which is you can conversational and ask questions. What is this AI agent or Athena, the analyzer? It's all about.
Athena as an analyst, and so since AI and agentic can be used in multiple places in multiple different ways, right? And as we all see that there are two different higher level umbrella use cases. One is AI becomes a complete assistant to you. That means you don't have to, you just have to tell what you need, and it'll make sure to have this happen.
Hmm.
So second is the agent itself act as a, not as a human, as a person, right? And accomplish a task talking to a person. We can call that as an workforce. So and Athena can be in workforce, right? And but it act as it takes a simple task and it actually complete the task entirely for you. And Athena can become a completely an assistant, with this Athena as an analyst, supply chain analyst, from the ConverSight perspective, right? So it's two different ways we can see Athena today. So we have Athena threads, and let's say if you like focus, or I would say like into two different use cases. One is Athena as a workforce and Athena as an analyst. If you take Athena as an analyst, so this is what we are actually working on for the next, right? And quarter, which we want to take it to our customer. Athena as an analyst is, it's builds on top of Athena threads, right? And today we ask explicit questions. Athena comes and answers these questions, right? But we actually wanted to give an Athena a code saying that, hey, Athena, I actually wanted to improve my inventory. And these are my data. This is what my business is. You explain the business in just orally, or you say that you point to an URL to our website and then say that, hey, this is my business, right? And right? And give some business constraints, right? And allow the Athena to access internet for macro and microeconomics of it. And now Athena will use all this to come up with saying that, hey, this is what like user inventory look like. This is what there is a risk. This is what your opportunity profile is. Here is what I created in dashboard, storyboard for you, right? You see, still there is visualization because humans can consume
Data, right? Yeah.
visually much more easier. And it actually summarizing tells all this, right? Where it not only tells the current status of the inventory, but it can also project, right? Saying that, hey, this is the risk, this is what opportunity you can do this to actually improve your inventory optimization, right? And it can also come and say that, hey, you can make this action now, right? But not just by using the data, but also actually using other external data to make this decision for you. This is what the Athena as an analyst. I'm just talking about inventory here, but it can be anything which we can actually bring in. And once this is done, Athena analyst creates an flow for you, which you can just deploy within the platform. And you don't have to come and do it every day, right? Once you find out, hey, this is what is this structure and you feel like it's good, then you deploy within the platform. And every day you will get this information for everybody to consume, right? Come back and change, you just get it, come back and change on top of it, work and deploy back on top of it. So this is what Athena as an analyst, especially in the supply chain. And Athena will be coached, and specifically on supply chain. So we are going to load a lot more intelligent into that Athena so that it can actually do great analysis in the supply chain.
So we started Athena as a report writer, report creator, to have a conversation, and then now, given the set of goals and boundaries and bunch of data, Athena, giving a solution, analyzing and giving a solution for that. Got it. So it's now this is still going to assist someone, but not a data analyst, maybe the business leader.
Business person. Exactly.
Yeah, a supply chain leader.
Supply chain leader. The supply chain leader can come in and get. This is where the decision intelligence also comes into play completely, right? Where we have modeled a lot of things within the platform. We bubble up, we show, but still there are a nook and corner of the businesses where something always comes up and go, right? And Athena as an analyst will actually assist the leaders to actually do that by themselves and not by just doing instruction by instruction. They just have to give a goal to make it happen for
See, the one common concerns or pushback I hear all about is like, hey, these are all LLM and how secured. Like, I don't want my data to go to this OpenAI ChatGPT type, right? So, what is the technology now to prevent it? Like, without going too deep in technology, how do you explain to our audience?
So the LLM itself has evolved in such a state, it can write with the good direction and good prompting, it can write their own codes properly, right? Now, what was being tried until this part is giving the data to LLM itself and it actually crunch and give the information, right? And that is where the data leakage part, data governance part all get into, right? And what we are trying to do is not giving the data to LLM directly. What we are trying to do is take the business fact, take the business thing and all that, and then ask LLM to plan and create a data analytics flow, and this data analytics flow is run on the data, not the data is given to the LLM to do this. So yeah, that is the best combination we can go with. LLM is slower. You can't crunch millions or billions of record. But the other way around, where it knows the data structure, it knows what the business is, it knows the macroeconomic information which you can add, which is public, right? And then ask it to create a data analytics pipeline. Now, the best part is it can actually create multiple data analytics pipeline and it can evaluate the data, right? Get the analytics run and then create multiple threads, tree like structure, and then you can do the analysis. So it's more like a simulation where multiple simulation with multiple hyperparameter is run, but on the data, not on the data, on the LLM.
So we don't need to really give the entire data to have this luxury of getting this analysis done. Rather, the data can be private within our cloud, within our network, but the power can be leveraged.
Yeah.
Got it. So governance is definitely critical because, like, be it supply chain or finance or legal, any industry, any space we go, the data is a lot more proprietary and secured. And public data is okay, right? But now most of the time we need this analysis on our transactional data.
Not on that part. Yes.
Yeah, certainly. So, yeah, I think we covered. I think 7 years back, where the industry is looked and people waiting for one or two reports to having and complete, end-to-end decision intelligence with the agentic AI is an amazing thing. I'm super excited. Like, I don't know, like what's in cards. If we speak to you after like 1 year, I think all this you'll say like, I think analysis is fast and here it is.
Think, yeah. So
I don't know, like,
AGI, we are getting into say that just give the platform and Athena will go talk to a person, get connected on its own, get the data, and
yeah.
say, this is the state of the business. This is your thing, right? This is what you do every day, right? And I'm so excited. I like AI from my childhood, and I always wanted to do something in my childhood, even after college, my ConverSight. Now I feel that all that can be done today, right? We are not far from where there will be an AI assistant for individual person in their mobile, right? Which is completely tailored for them and which will do everything for them. So it is not far away. It's going to be near future in next 2 to 3 years.
I know we focused a lot on ConverSight today, but I think that we should do another episode of what all AI can do in our personal as well as on the professional world, and what it create an opportunity as well as thread in the job market and many more things. So that's the next episode. And Gopi, thank you so much for your time and sharing a lot about where this industry is going, and most importantly, what ConverSight is doing and how we are helping the customers on this page. So thank you so much, and see you soon in the next episode.
Thank you, Ganesh, and thanks for great questions. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot.